Maya is a PM at a B2B SaaS. She's shipping a Copilot feature that drafts contract red lines for her customers' legal teams. She spent 2 weeks on the prompt, 5 tabs of it: role, task, format, constraints, examples. She read every prompt engineering guide. She added a system message, chain of thought hints, output format rules. On paper, the prompt is beautiful. Then she ships to production. The output is useless. The red lines come back generic. They miss the customer's prior MSA. They ignore the company's own red line style guide. They forget what was negotiated last quarter. They invent indemnity clauses that legal would never accept. Maya stares at the prompt. The prompt is not the problem. The model never saw any of that other stuff. The joystick was perfect. The plane was empty. Here is the hot take of this video. Prompt engineering is dead. Long live context engineering. Say it out loud once because every PM building AI features needs to hear it. The prompt is not the product. Not because the prompt does not matter. The prompt is a joystick, and no pilot flies with just a joystick. They fly with maps, with altitude instruments, with fuel gauges, with weather feeds, with air traffic control on the radio. The joystick is the smallest decision in the cockpit. Prompt engineering is optimizing the joystick. Context engineering is curating the entire cockpit. Production AI features ship or fail on the cockpit, almost never on the joystick. Watch what happens when you zoom out from Maya's prompt. The 5 tabs of role and task and format are one tiny instrument in the corner. Around it, a dashboard lights up. System prompt, retrieve documents, tool results, prior turns, user profile, examples. Each one a separate gauge. Everything on that dashboard is what the model actually sees on every single call. That whole dashboard, not the joystick, is your real product surface. So what is in the cockpit? 6 instruments. Instrument 1. The system prompt. The rules of the cabin. Who the model is. What it must never do. What tone it speaks in. For Maya, that is, you draft contract red lines for enterprise legal teams. Never invent clauses. Never accept indemnity over 12 months. Instrument 2. Retrieved documents. This is RAG. The customer's prior MSA, the redline style guide, the playbook, pulled in fresh on every call. Instrument 3. Tool results. Live data from your own APIs, the customer's tier, their open negotiation, the latest pricing approved by finance. Instrument 4. Prior turns. The conversation history. What Maya's user asked 2 messages ago. What the model already promised. Instrument 5. The user profile. Who is asking? A senior counsel gets a different draft than a sales engineer. Instrument 6. Few short examples. 3 past red lines that legal approved, dropped in as a pattern. Light up all 6 and the model has a cockpit. Light up only the system prompt and you are flying blind.
Enjoying this? Subscribe to Skill Agents AI for more videos like this one.
This is why prompt tuning hits a ceiling fast. Maya can spend a week on her prompt, rewrite the role 3 different ways, add 5 more constraints, tighten the output format, stress test it on 20 edge cases. After all of that, she might add 5% quality on a good day. Now look at the other side. Maya spends 1 day on context. She wires up the customer's prior MSA into the call. She pulls in the company's redline style guide as a tool result. She passes the user's role and seniority into the system prompt. 1 day of work, 3 instruments switched on. Quality jumps 50%. The red lines now reference actual prior terms. They match the negotiation history. They sound like the company instead of the open internet. Same model, same base prompt. The only thing that changed is what the model could see at inference time. Look at the curve. Hours into the prompt, you climb a small hill. Hours into the cockpit, you walk into a different building. The leverage is not in the joystick, it is in the cockpit. 3 concrete moves to ship a context engineer feature this week. Move 1. Audit what the model is actually seeing on every call. Literally print the full input to the API. Every system prompt token, every retrieved chunk, every tool result, every prior turn. In the exact order the model receives them. Most PMs have never looked at this. When Maya finally did, she found 3 things. The retrieved docs were yesterday's stale snapshot. The customer's tier was missing entirely. And 6 turns of prior conversation were truncated to save tokens, including the one where her user said, "Do not change indemnity." Half the cockpit was dark. Move to build a context budget. The model has a fixed token limit. Decide on purpose where the tokens go. 2000 tokens for the system prompt, 3000 for retrieved docs, 1000 for prior turns, 500 for few short examples. Write the budget down. Without it, one runaway tool result eats the whole window and pushes out the document that actually mattered. The good news is that a budget is a 5-line spreadsheet, not a research project. Move 3. Treat the context assembly logic as your real product. The code that decides which documents to fetch for this user, which tools to call for this question, which history to keep, which examples to pick. That logic is what you are shipping. The prompt string is one input to that logic. The product is the logic itself. When you describe your feature in stand up, describe the cockpit, not the prompt. One line to take away from this video: stop tuning the joystick, start designing the cockpit. That is what the engineering in context engineering actually means. That is one metaphor down. 9 more in this playlist take you from prompts to agents. Subscribe to Skill Agents AI so you do not miss them.